Oh god, I hope I like this episode. I really, really do. I know it sounds weird because lots of people assume I have some sort of weird hate boner for Peter Harness, when why would I? I've still not bothered watching anything non-Doctor Who related he's done. We all have bad stories in us, and maybe he's just unsuited to Doctor Who in my opinion. I don't know. And I'd hate to make my continuing negative opinions of his Doctor Who work feel personal. I've never met Peter Harness. I'm sure he's a lovely man. And consistently totally shitting on someone's work one after another, it just doesn't feel very good for the soul, if you know what I mean. Doesn't exactly feel great. And I've really enjoyed being a lot more positive on Series 10. I like enjoying Doctor Who again. Anyway, enough beating around the bush. Anyway, let's just go ahead and watch what's probably going to end up being a complete piece of shit. Oh, for fuck's sake. Look, I don't go in wanting to hate it, alright? I don't. So, yeah, that was, yeah, it was very, yeah, it was a bit, I thought it was a bit quite, alright-ish, sorta. Okay, I'm really torn on this one, because while Pyramid at the End of the World shows active improvements over Harness's last effort, Zygon Invasion, and there are some really good ideas in there, it's still hampered by quite a lot of problems in the episode's structure that piss all over the mood that I'm clearly supposed to be in. It's taken me a while to realise it, but that's my main problem with Harness episodes. His ideas are solid and I like them, but it's just the assembly that's so messy and detrimental to the effects that the episode's hoping to have on the viewer. So, starting at that foundation, a mysterious pyramid suddenly appears overnight, and it looks ancient and like it's always been there, but it clearly hasn't. Ooh, what's going on? What is inside the pyramid? Who built it? Where did it come from? Ooh, it's a mystery. Beautiful. I love that premise, as I usually do with Harness episodes, and the pre-title sequence sets it up really well. I particularly enjoyed the previously on Doctor Who segment, which is intercut with Bill attempting to casually and offhandedly explain it all to a faintly involved party. I loved that. It offers a more down-to-earth perspective on events, and then we got Bill, as the Doctor's current companion, being called on to get involved in the episode's mysterious goings-on by her association with him, and not really having that much of a grasp on what's going on herself. That's a great way of dragging us into the plot. A narrative where a fish-out-of-water character is the human perspective guiding the viewer through the bizarre instigation of a story. And then the titles ended and, oh wait, no, the Doctor's playing his guitar and doing a pretentious monologue. Fucking brilliant, it's Series 9 all over again, never mind. It is mostly Bill that I liked in Pyramid at the End of the World. This character's just incredibly fun to be around and acts as a great audience avatar. In fact, maybe the series so far has actually been totally shit and I just haven't noticed because Bill's offset it. Actually, that might be a bit unfair of me, because it's not just Bill that I liked in the episode's opening 10 minutes. It's pretty jokey, and I thought it was genuinely funny.
How did they get it out of my office? The windows aren't big enough.
Oh, they are now.
I don't know the president. How would I know the president? I mean, I wouldn't have even voted for him. He's orange.
Wait a sec, if Trump is real and is president in the Whoniverse, then why hasn't the Doctor stopped him yet? Anyway, so as said, I do like that we're viewing this mystery through the lens of Bill. I was actually starting to have fun. And then, approximately 10 minutes in, it gets revealed that the pyramid is the blind monk's spaceship or something, and my palm hit my face at the speed of about 73 miles per hour. So, what the fuck was the point in the mystery at all then, if you're just going to reveal it almost immediately? The episode just sort of goes, ooh, here is mysterious thing. Yeah, Monks did it. Anyway, now on to whatever else we can think of to fill the runtime. I mean, I don't hate it or anything, it's just a bit blunt is all. We start the episode with a great premise and it's got me going, ooh, mysterious, and then it just sort of tells me what's going on and those vibes of anticipation are gone. I just think it would have been more interesting to have it be a mysterious pyramid appears overnight, no one knows how or why it got there, and the Doctor, Bill and Nardole explore this weird pyramid from an ancient civilization, having basically no idea what the fuck's going on. I would have totally loved that, it would have been really eerie and strange. It's very much the incorporation of the Monks storyline that's killed this one for me. We're stumbling back down that rabbit hole of mistakes that the show's made in the past, where an overarching storyline is detrimental to the individual stories that it's trying to tell. Just my heart sank when it got revealed to be a doomsday clock, aliens want to kill the world thing again. I mean, there were some cool ideas in there, like that bit where the monks appear inside the plane, and the pyramid makes the plane land using a sparkly magic light or something. Which, you know, it's pretty, but again, it's just a bit direct. Extremist, by contrast, was weird and mysterious, and this premise about the inexplicable pyramid would have made for a great weird and mysterious episode. And making it weird and mysterious would have been in keeping with the tone of Extremist. I just felt a bit... well, actually no, not a bit, really let down by that. But the thing is, I don't think that's totally Harness's fault. Pyramid at the End of the World looks as though it started life as an entirely different episode, which when merged together with another idea flying around the pool of writers in the grander structure of the season gets totally lost and responsible for Palm A colliding with Face B as illustrated in this diagram. Okay, so now they're exploring the dark and creepy pyramids, but we've seen the monks now. We essentially know what they're doing, so I can't really feel a whole lot of tension here. And the monks basically just show us what's going on and their plan. I quite like this Threads of the Future thing they've got rigged up in here that they're running their hands through and seeing something that's going to wipe out mankind. You know, it looks pretty and like a load of Christmas lights in a circle. And the monks say some shit about how they actually want to help the humans and, oh my god, revelation or whatever. But they need the humans to give them consent to help them and do a thing or something. Oh, and also there's this side plot with two scientist people going on throughout the episode, which it's hard to see a point in until it gets revealed that the reason the world's going to die is that there's this virus thing in their laboratory that turns people into melting puddles of goo, and okay, just stop. Slow up. Just stop having ideas and focus on that first one you had about 5 miles back that way about the pyramid. You already had enough material to make a compelling, mysterious, exploration-focused Doctor Who episode with the pyramid setup. Just sort of chucking more ideas into a massive pile one after the other doesn't really do anything for any of them. It actually only takes away from them, especially since you're condensing all this shit into 45 minutes. Especially with the whole world's gonna end thing, which, did we need that, really? New Who's done more than enough with that idea in the past. Raising the stakes again doesn't always mean it's more engaging. What I liked so much about Thin Ice was that it was almost entirely about the Doctor and Bill just exploring, you know? Same with Smile, actually, as well as the themes it was dealing with. If you focus more on the characters exploring the environment, rather than just stake raising for the hell of it, you allow the single story the opportunity to increase the impact that its ideas will have on the viewer. But instead, we've essentially got the Doctor just grabbing me and going, oh my god, everything is so important, what are we gonna do, we're all gonna die. Which, again, I've seen the show do billions of times before. And this season up until now, I was really encouraged by the fact that we seem to be moving away from that formula. Because as a result, I just felt Pyramid at the End of the World was just a bit meandering. It's like a series of 5-minute episodes of Doctor Who just sort of knitted together via the monk premise, when I felt the initial pitch of the pyramid was better than that. I mean, I suppose the virus thing sort of fits, you know, thematically, you know, plague, pyramids, Egypt, I suppose that kinda connects up, but again, it's just a bit blunt in the way that it lays all this stuff out. Although I did enjoy the closing scenes where Bill makes the sacrifice to return the Doctor's sight, there's a lot of dramatic tension there, and I like the setup that we've got at the end of this one for next time. And thinking about it, I suppose that pretty much all of Pyramid logically links up in a coherent narrative through line, so I understand why the episode's ended up the way it has, but what I don't see is why we couldn't have indulged in the much better idea, mysterious pyramid appears overnight, why, rather than just this episode primarily existing to get us from A, Extremist, to B, Lie of the Land. As the story was developed from idea to pitch, it somehow ended up becoming a transitionary story rather than a story in its own right, and that's ultimately why I found it a bit of a shame. If you take anything away from this review, don't think it's that I hated Pyramid at the End of the World, because I didn't, alright? Harness is a good ideas man, but in this specific case, that was the problem. Anyway, now it's time for obligatory thoughts on the 13th Doctor announcement, because the BBC like to spring this shit on me at last minute. Anyway, so it's Jodie Whittaker, and I have no opinion whatsoever. I have seen Jodie Whittaker in approximately 2 things, an episode of Black Mirror and the small segment of Broadchurch that I could be asked watching. When I have such little experience with a new Doctor casting prior to announcement, I rarely have much of a reaction at all. I did with Capaldi because I knew who he was already, and I don't see why people expect me to react to this announcement until I've seen her in action. Oh right, they want me to react because of the gender thing. Well, this desire to cast a female Doctor had been around for a while, and I'd never really given it that much thought, and now it's happened, don't really see why people are complaining about it so much. To be honest, if Hellbent didn't make you switch off, but you're saying this is going to make you, I think we might have been watching Doctor Who for different reasons. The name that concerns me a lot more in the next era of the show is Chris Chibnall, and I already did a video on him because to me the quality of the show is primarily in the writing. So yeah, in conclusion, I'll be waiting to see if Chris Chibnall's writing is as boring as I found his past work to form my opinion on number 13.